Hello, I'm Emma Coble, licensed professional counselor in Denver, Colorado, and today I'm going to be talking with you about 3 more tips to overcome political despair, to move through political despair. So in the first video, I talked about the context of this blog, which was that Roe v. Wade was overturned about a month ago and has sent many of us into a feeling of political despair and sadness and a feeling of hopelessness at times. And to start out this video, I want to say another quote. I started the other one with a Barack Obama quote, but today this one is from J.R.R. Tolkien, and it's in The Lord of the Rings. And he says, Frodo says, "I wish it need not have happened in my time," said Frodo. "So do I," said Gandalf, "and so do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us." So I just wanted to share that, and that will sort of set the context of the other 3 tips I'm going to talk about today. If you haven't watched the first video, go back and watch it, because I start out and give a little more context and talk about some ways we can start to relate to our grief healthfully and compassionately. So the next step is to start after we have allowed the grief to be here, made some room for the grief, and allowed ourselves to retreat a little bit if we need to, come back to the present moment. The next step I want to talk about is to allow, but not force, a feeling of gratitude. So maybe start to allow some feelings of gratitude to come in. And this, I want to really emphasize that this is an invitation. It is not a forcing. It is not a, you better feel grateful for how good your life is and the fact that, you have access to abortion or you have enough, clothing and food and all of that stuff. This is not a chance to beat yourself up. This is a invitation to think about some of the things you may feel grateful for. And if it feels foreign or if it feels forced, you do not need to push it, but maybe start to notice that our minds naturally tend to focus on what's negative. We all, as I've talked about in other posts, we all have what's called a negativity bias. So we tend to focus on things that are negative, and this is how we have come to survive. This was a part of our evolution. Those of us who were able to, pick out a, panther in the woods, or to think about an upcoming famine because there hasn't been rain, like we were the ones who were able to move and, move our tribes and survive, to react. So our brains are naturally primed toward things that are negative. We are constantly primed towards threats, and this has helped us survive. We remember a hot stove, touching a hot stove more easily than we remember a beautiful sunset from, a year ago or something like that, because our brains want to help us not touch that hot stove again. And it's more important to remember that. So noticing that our brains are more primed to remember those things. What are the things that we are grateful for? There's a meditation about, if I were to lose, like if I'm thinking about the things in my life, like thinking about the things I would be really sad if I actually lost these things, and meditating on the beauty of having them in my life right now. That's an option. You could also just sort of sit and watch the dust of mote float in a sunbeam and look at the beauty of that. Connect with the things that make you feel grateful. Maybe get out in nature to do this. Find those things and really let your body and your mind take it in. This world is a beautiful place. There is pain and there's suffering, but there's also so much beauty and possibility. So where can you find that? And again, it's not a forcing, but a remembering. So the next step is to remember what you can control. So this decision, this decision to overturn Roe v. Wade was not in our control. So things we can control are how we relate to ourselves, how we relate to others, how we show up for ourselves. So think about yourself 10, 20, 30 years down the road? What are some ways you would have wanted the you now to show up for yourself? What are the things you would have wanted this version of you to remember or to learn? Sometimes for some people, this might mean taking action, that there's something that they want to do that would help the situation, and that can help heal them. This is not, again, a forcing or a guilting or, nothing about like you need to do something, but just noticing, would this help me feel healed or better to be able to take some action here? Again, not that you're going to control or change this huge, large situation, but what are the small things you could control? So the next thing is to do the things that give you energy and connect you to others. So COVID and rampant technology have also sometimes made this hard, but do the things like get outside, go be creative, take an improv class, go be with friends or family. This can also help us remember the things we're grateful for. Play is a huge way that we get through stress and overwhelm. So let your body play a little bit too right now. It doesn't all need to be figuring out how to heal and all of that. Like, you can just have time where you unwind from all of that. So I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that as you move through this grief, you can keep remembering the larger picture of who you are and of this world. One of my favorite quotes from Pema Chodron is, "You are the sky. Everything else, it's just the weather." So I hope you can hold space for the fact that you are the sky. This is just the weather, and there's blue sky underneath it. So thanks so much for watching.